Under my plan, I'll be reducing taxes tremendously, from 35% to 15% for companies, small and big businesses. That's going to be a job creator like we haven't seen since Ronald Reagan. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. Companies will come, they will build, they will expand, new companies will start, and I look very, very much forward to doing it. We have to renegotiate our trade deals, and we have to stop these countries from stealing our companies and our jobs.
Donald Trump touting his plan to cut corporate tax rates at this week's debate, while promising to renegotiate U.S. trade deals with countries he claims are stealing American jobs. Steve Moore is a Trump senior economic advisor and a former Wall Street Journal editorial board member. So, Steve, you heard Austin Goolsbee. How do you respond to his point that this is all just a demand problem, and if you just gin up government spending, that'll boost growth?
Well, a couple things. I mean, first of all, I think you guys nailed it on the editorial page 3 or 4 weeks ago when you put a headline in your editorial about Hillary's plan that said hope with no change. And really, when you listen to what Austin just said and what Hillary said on Monday night, it was just basically we're going to do what we've done for the last 8 years and hope this time it works. And, you know, a couple things. I mean, first of all, is there really anybody who thinks that a big tax increase of $1.5 trillion is what an economy that's been growing at 1 to 1.5% needs? Now, you can quibble with some of the things that Trump wants to do, but I just don't see the logic of a major tax increase. One of the things Austin said that I thought was incorrect when he was talking to you was when he said, you know, that the tax cost of capital is as low as it's ever been. That's absolutely not true. Remember, Paul, when Obama came into office, the capital gains tax rate was 15%. Obama raised it from 15 to 20 and then to 24% with Obamacare. That's a 60% increase in the tax on investing in capital. Also, the individual income tax rates went up, and those are taxes paid directly by business. So you summarized the very problem in the economy very well. Businesses are not investing. They are profitable, Paul. They're just not reinvesting that money in the economy. Okay. I think it's partially because of taxes and partially because of the regulatory burden.
Okay, let me take something up with you on Trump, and that is that when he started on the economy, he spent most of his time in that answer on the economy talking about trade.
Right.
He did mention taxes. He mentioned regulation very briefly, but mostly he focused on trade. Is this telling the American people that Donald Trump really thinks that renegotiating trade deals, renegotiating NAFTA, is the #1 economic priority we have?
Well, look, you know me, Paul. I'm a free trade person, and I've told Donald Trump that from the start. So I don't entirely agree with him.
No, but I'm talking about you. But you talked to Trump.
So,
is this his priority or not? What is his priority? Is it taxes? Is it regulation? Is it trade?
I believe, and I think he does, and he said this in the debate, one of the big problems with our trade imbalance and the fact that, you know, we're importing so much more than we're exporting is the tax code. Now, in other words, what I've told him, and I think he wants to go in this direction, if we fix the tax plan and we're taxing things that come into the United States rather than what we produce and export, you know, as other countries are doing, you can level the playing field. And he said that in the debate. The other thing is, you know, if you get the regulatory structure fixed, I'll give you one statistic. The National Association of Manufacturers said that every manufacturing job comes with $18,000 of regulations, Paul. I mean, that puts America at a severe disadvantage. So I believe you bring these businesses back through tax and regulatory reform. But look, he has made it very clear he does want to renegotiate some of these trade deals.
Okay, all right. So, and I think that's going to harm growth, not enhance it. But let's talk about the tax plan. I want to clarify a point here. Donald Trump's proposing to cut the corporate rate from 35 to 15. You think that would help growth. But there's an ambiguity here about how that rate would apply to small businesses, okay, who now currently pay taxes under the individual tax code. So, would that 15% rate apply not just to General Electric, but also to the hardware store owner?
Well, first of all, why it's so important, just a quick point about this. I mean, you know, I learned this from reading your editorials. We have the highest corporate tax rate in the world, and it is leading to companies leaving the United States. And there's no question, you cut that rate to 15%, you're going to get a lot of those businesses come back in the United States. It's the heart of our plan. Now, what Donald Trump told Larry Kudlow and I and others when we put this plan together is I want to make sure small businesses benefit as well. So we have a 15% rate for small businesses and subchapter S's and so on. But the stipulation is is you have to reinvest the money back in the company. So if you've got profits and you put that money back into the company, hiring more workers or building a new plant or investing in machinery or trucks or something like that, you're going to get a 15% rate. If you take it out in the form of a dividend or you take it out in the form of some kind of wage and salary, it will be taxed at the individual rate. And by the way, we cut those as well. So it's a big bargain for businesses, and we think it's going to be a huge job generator.
Okay, but it only goes down to 33% if you take it out of the business.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Well, if you're a sole proprietor.
If you're a sole proprietor,
if you're,
right.
for example. Yeah.
Okay, Steve. Thanks. We got to go, but I appreciate your coming on.